My name is Monica Gleberman, and you're listening to Silence on Set podcast. On today's podcast, we're speaking to the cast of Jack Ryan about its fourth and final season. As the new CIA acting deputy director, Jack Ryan is tasked with unearthing internal corruption, and in doing so uncovers a series of suspicious black ops that could expose the vulnerability of the country. As Jack and the team investigate how deep the corruption runs, he discovers a far worse reality, the convergence of a drug cartel with a terrorist organization, ultimately revealing a conspiracy much closer to home and testing our hero's belief in the system he has always fought to protect. So, to talk about the final season, first up is Michael Peña and Louis Ozawa. It's Monica Gleberman with Time Warner Entertainment and Sun Sunset Podcast. How are you guys?
Good.
Fine, thanks.
I'm going to jump right in because we only have 8 minutes and I have so many questions for you guys. But I wanted to ask both of you what it was like, obviously, joining for the final season of Jack Ryan. And can you talk to us about your characters and what we kind of can expect or what you can tease about them?
That the second part is always a crazy question, but like it's a tough one, especially when you can't give away too many things.
I know, and you guys are so good.
Yeah, I mean, but the feeling that I got when I first started talking to John about this part is a little bit of an anxiety because you told me about the part, I thought it was cool, and when you've been doing it for a while, you're like, oh, this is a cool gig, I like it. You know, you want to tell the story to the best of your ability, and then I watched the first season. And the first season was so good. I watched it in 2 days. And then I read the two scripts, and the two scripts were better than even the pitch. And then I thought, just don't mess it up, dude. Just do your job to the best of your ability. And it's it's kind of like a well-oiled machine, you know, the way that it moves, and they've worked everything out, and they made it very interesting, and it moves a lot. Cliffhangers are great. So you want to be a part of the team. And that's what hopefully that's what I did. And then as far as my character goes, he's someone who has like a bit of a different moral compass than Jack Ryan. I think his intentions are somewhat, they run parallel to his, but at the end of the day, they do things completely different. And that's what I can tell you.
Just a little different. What about for you, Louis? What was it like?
Initially, I just read the first two scripts, and they told me kind of the arc of the character, and I was hooked in just from that. I mean, I was like, oh, I get to do that and that and that and that, but then when I read the subsequent scripts, when they started coming in, I was like, oh, and I get to do this and this and this. Yeah, it's kind of a dream to play such a rich character who's neither good nor bad and lives somewhere in the gray. And these are, as an actor, it's always juicy, you know, and that's about as much as you can ask for.
Well, I was going to say, for the two of you, you do both kind of live in the gray, and especially in the beginning, we don't know that much about either of your characters. So as an actor, when you get a role like this, is it fun to be like, I'm a badass? I don't really people are going to learn as I learn. And is it fun to kind of just jump in there and create all these just really cool characters? You have guns, you have all these fun things that you get to play with.
By the way, that would be awesome if I was actually reading something and I'm like, ooh, I'm a badass. Woo, let's go.
Yeah.
Michael, you are a badass. You scare me when I first saw the first episode.
No, but you know what? But it is fun because that's what's so cool. Like, I remember, people used to ask me, what's your dream role? And the thing is that these writers in Hollywood are so imaginative that they write roles that I would never even think of. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I just want a great role from a great writer. And when I was reading the script, I was like, dude, this is awesome. Like, I get to do some really cool stuff. And, there was a level of badassery in it. If there was a scale, it's right here. You know what I mean? So, that's pretty high. Yeah. So, but I was stoked on the part and the execution of it, at least on the scripts.
Yeah, it's hard enough to play the characters and the stakes of the scene. it just so happens that they're badass characters, but I think it's kind of a pitfall to get too caught up in the fun of that.
To the badassery of it.
Yeah, just
Michael's gonna try to say that the whole interview now for the rest.
No,
badass
it's
anyway.
badass, dude.
Yeah.
It's badass. No, but it's true though. Like he brought up a good point because you can't really get caught up into it too much, you know. But you just take a different viewpoint. And you're like, oh, okay, cool, and so
It's always better to find the human being in there.
yeah, exactly.
And the rest will come.
But there are some characters that absolutely think that they're badass, you know. But then it doesn't look very real. But
Yeah.
that would be a good part too.
Yeah.
Tao Fa Sing.
Mr. Murray. And this is?
Chavez.
We're in position.
Standing by.
We were told that Mr. Marquez would come to greet us. Where is he?
He's waiting for you at his hacienda. He requests you see him alone.
Unacceptable. It's all right, so what? And your men?
They stay here. Chavez will take you.
Can you guarantee my protection?
Yes, I can. Shall we?
Well, I have to say it works what you both did, because I literally the first episode, and again, I've seen the whole thing that they sent us, so I can't say anything like you guys, but I saw the first episode, I was like, these guys are scary. And like, Michael, I've seen you in a lot of funny stuff and badass. You guys are both badass. So
Thank you.
the
Thank
two of
you.
you
Thank
really
you for
rock
watching
it.
the whole
go.
thing. Yeah, because
Oh my God, it's so good. You guys are so good in it. I wish I could talk more about it, but you guys are fantastic. I wanted to ask you, I probably have like 2 minutes or 2.5 minutes left. So I want to ask both of you too. Was there a scene this season, and I know it's very difficult because you can't really talk about it, but was there a scene or something that you can mention that you're looking forward to for people to see that you were like, oh, holy shit, like this was something I never got to do before and I'm so excited. And then what are you hoping fans get out of this final season? Because we're really sad to see it go.
Well, for me, it's going to be my own personal victory, right? I'm a person that does not know how to swim. Like I can't swim. So the fact that I jumped off a place and headed right into the water and then swam a little bit. Yes, I had a wetsuit on. And for me, that's like, it's literally going to be like 5 seconds in the show. But to me, I was like, dude, that's badass.
And you did it. So that's amazing.
I did it.
Yeah. You know, I do a lot of these action things. So actually, my cherished moment was working with this young actress, Rin Greenwell. Like our scenes were just so juicy, and I loved how complex and difficult and heartbreaking they were to act with this. You know, it's as an actor, they always say don't act with kids and animals, but it's true. She's so good and so truthful. Like you had to be there 100%. And yeah, daunting. It was great.
Well, like I said, you guys are so amazing in it. So what are you most excited? Because I feel like the characters are very different for both of you. I mean, like there's elements that are different. Like Lewis, I know you always play a lot of badass characters, but like this is a little different for you. He's very reserved, a little more internal. And then Michael, like I said, you do a lot of comedy. You've done everything over the course of your career. But again, badass characters. So for the two of you, what are you most excited for fans to see in terms of you guys on the show and that it's the final season?
Well, I think they went all out on this show. I mean, especially it being the final season of Jack Ryan. And they're gonna see a lot of the same kind of stuff that they really like, and then some different elements, you know, because when you get to a show like this, you don't want it to change completely, you know? You want to take the elements that you really appreciate it. And, you know, I'm a fan of this show, you know what I mean? So I'm like, I want to be able to see a badass show, you know, and be just like an ultimate fan. So like, hopefully when I see it at home, I'm not like disappointed in myself and in the show.
And I'm glad it's a slower drip this season. You get 2 at a time.
You get two drops.
And you really have to pay attention because a lot happens in each episode. So I'm hoping people watch and rewatch because there's moments that you might miss. And
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank the two of you. I love you guys so much. I would talk to both of you for like an hour because you guys did such a good job on the show. And I wish I could talk more specifics with you guys, but congratulations because it was so good. The first episode blew me away and I just powered through all of them.
Oh,
so,
whoa.
Michael, Lewis, nothing to worry about. You guys fucking rocked it. So congratulations.
Let's go. You're badass, dude.
You're badass. Yeah.
You guys are badass. I love both of you.
Thank you.
Well, have a great rest of the day. Thank you so much for talking with me.
Yeah,
and
right on. Have a good one.
Up next is Abbie Cornish and Betty Gabriel. It is so nice to see my beautiful women again. You're back. Yes.
Yeah.
How are you guys?
Good.
Thank you.
Great to be back.
I know. After last season, I was like, I better see more of the two of you. And I was very demanding. So I would like to say that I had a little part in maybe you guys go. No, but I'm very excited that you guys are back.
Thank you.
So last season was nuts. It was just crazy and all over the place. What can you say as to where we find both of your characters? Where is kind of Kathy and Elizabeth at this point when we come back?
Kathy has rekindled her romance with Jack. So in episode 1 of season 4, we come in on a scene with them in his apartment or his brownstone, and they're back. There's hope.
There's hope. They're cute.
They are cute, right?
Yes, they're very cute. And then where do we see I mean, I feel like Elizabeth's kind of a little bit where we left off. She's very right in there, kind of working, getting things done with with more problems coming her way.
Yes, more power, more responsibility. Yeah, she's been appointed as director of the CIA by the president. She also has to, though, be voted in by the Senate. So she's having to go through that whole ring and what's the phrase? Game. What's that whole political rigmaroles? That's the word.
That's the one.
That's the one. But yeah, it's a lot of pressure to be under. But she's also got this. We see in the first episode, in the first 2 minutes, there's this assassination and the CIA has been implicated, so it's quite messy. But she's got Jack by her side. They've also reunited in their sort of like work marriage. And they are a good team and they're really trusting, and it's great. It's great for us to both be aligned in that way.
It's so funny because when you said that, I just picture like John in the middle of the two of you right now. It's like a little black space, and we could just drop him in there.
Super, yeah, drop right. I mean, I thought it was. His head's now like right here, like sort of like green screen.
Totally.
We'll have to CGI him in.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, that's a given.
Well, the two of you, I feel like, if anything, are the most supportive of him and of dealing kind of with him, because there's so many things that go on and so many things that he does. And, you know, in terms of Elizabeth, you know, you're dealing with him kind of going rogue. And for Kathy, it's more of an emotional thing where, you know, she just doesn't really know and can't really get too attached, right? Because you just never know what he's going to do. So in the other room, I was calling the guys badasses. You guys are like boss bitches. That's what I was going to say in this room. Because you guys are also like really badasses that have to support him, and you help make things happen as the show goes on. So what was it like kind of continuing with these roles and increasing that kind of responsibility of kind of narrowing in on Jack and keeping John straight between the two of you?
Yeah, I mean, look, I feel like I got the easy end of the stick on this gig, you know. I'm playing the loving, doting girlfriend. Like, it's awesome. Right?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome, and because she's smart and he listens to her and she's respected, she's a voice. I like all of the things about her.
Yeah, no, she's a cool counterpart to him, and he's, you know, because he's such a full character in a way. So it's not an easy task to step up to. That's for sure.
And then how is it for you?
I think it's pretty great. I think it's very unique about this show because you do have this white guy hero, and we see that often, but he's learned, I think as a storyteller, but also as a character, Jack Ryan has learned that he has to rely on other people. He needs the people around him to support him. And they're all just learning that they need each other, and so it's a very high spirit of collaboration. And the feminine part of that, the female part of that, is that we have the potential as leaders and just as peoples in relationships to be understanding and collaborative and cooperative. So definitely, I think it's well-intended, intentional that we're the women in his lives and that we make him better.
Yeah, no, and you both do in very different ways. I wanted to ask you last time I interviewed you guys for last season, but because this is the last season, I wanted to ask both of you, would either of you, if they had offered Jack Ryan the role to you, knowing what you know, would either of you wanted to play
it? Jack Ryan as Jack.
Like no, as you guys, your version of a Jack Ryan.
Oh God.
I'd give it a whirl.
Yeah, I'd globetrot and jump out of helicopters.
Looking all cool. Hats and stuff.
I mean, if it was just the role, then no question. But he juggles a lot and he wears a lot of hats. And to his, I am so blanking on words. I'm so sorry. But to his credit, he is definitely operating on all cylinders are firing, and it's like that's a lot. I don't know if I want to take on all that. I'm like, nah, someone else can write this and someone else can direct, and I'll just show up and look pretty.
No, and I totally understand. It's been a long day for you guys. I completely get it. So, but no, it's true. And I do think it's a hard character, but it's just funny because both of you are like, yes, yeah. And what's funny is I could picture both of you because I just think you're both fantastic actors. So I could see either one of you jumping in that role, or even like coming in as a side character and being a badass and then getting your own spin-off and like something cool. So like that, all of that would have been super fun. So I'm going to manifest that because I manifested that I wanted you to be in another season. So maybe one of your characters or both will be in a spin-off somewhere. So I'm just going to put that out in the world. Gosh, I have 1 minute left already. Oh my goodness. Okay, so for my last question, I guess, I want to ask both of you if there was anything in particular that you were most excited about that you can kind of tease for the season, for a scene or something that you were really excited about for people to see. And then how is it saying goodbye because it is the final season and we're all so sad?
Oh God, the time pressure cooker. I think you can look forward to seeing me walk into a room full of people and have to give a speech and do so with flying colors, if I do say so myself. Sure. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, and I get to do some action and adventure stuff, so.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
They're both good. Yeah.
And
anything that you want to say for it being the last season for fans?
I don't know. We're kind of in the mindset of like letting it live on. Yeah. So we're not gonna put flowers on the grave.
I like that saying. I've never heard that before. I
just made it up.
We'll quote you on it. Well, I want to thank both of you so much. I just think the two of you are fantastic. I said that last season. You guys were so good. I didn't think you could outdo it. You outdid yourselves this season. And I just want to thank you so much for taking time out to speak with me. And congratulations. It's so good.
Cheers. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hope you guys enjoyed listening to the cast of Jack Ryan talk about what we could expect for its last season. The fourth and final season of the streaming service's defining series, starring John Krasinski, will premiere June 30th on Prime Video, with 2 episodes available each Friday leading up to the epic series finale on July 14th. So make sure you head over and check it out. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you're updated on all of our latest podcasts, and head over to our YouTube channel, hit subscribe so you're updated on all of our video content.